Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for the support on the last XRP video, way more than anticipated. Now, just a reminder where I believe XRP is heading to this bull market. I think that $6 to $8 will be a key level of resistance, as this would be the first macro target beyond the previous all-time high. Now, this Fibonacci stems from 2018 down to 2020, but we've been within those 2 points all these years, 7+ years. So what we need XRP to do once it's broken the all-time high, which could also bring a rejection in the short term, but nothing to fear as it would continue high eventually to its first macro target. So many years in the making, this $8 target. And the direct next target after that would be $13. But I've also placed a fib on the last bull market top 2021, where it topped out just under $2. Let me know in the comment section below if you were involved back then. I certainly was. But essentially, that's also giving us some future targets, which we have already actually seen another micro one run into at $2.83. That's why we saw this pullback. We ran through this in the last update, but for anyone new around the channel, I'm just letting you know. Basically, when $1.60 was broken, it opened up these targets as a true possibility. And as this is the very first target, macro target, 7 years, 8 years in the making, this is where we just ultimately expect some sort of rejection, but would expect the previous all-time high to hold as support. But there are some other targets. Remember this 2021 top to the 2022 bottom. We've got $3.30 lining up with the previous all-time high, suggesting that this is an important level. $5 and then $6. So I've created an area between $6 and $8, and then we've actually got a technical target, measured move over here, essentially telling us that on the breakout, which we saw down at $1, the target becomes $12. So multiple things lining up with this area or as our future bull market top target for XRP. This would be a further gain from here of around 160, 250, 400, and nearly 500%. So for something so big already, this is what's usually expected out of such a large cap, right? There will be better gains potentially in smaller coins, but they pose a risk because not as many people know about them. So that's why a lot of people are fine with less gains just because the project is more known. So it's more of a guaranteed win, but not necessarily the best out there. It doesn't matter. A win is a win, a gain is a gain, profit is profit. At the end of the day, you came here to make money. And if you've done so, which I believe every single XRP holder that I've bought the past few months is in profit, so then you've done what you've come here to do. Now, previously in the last video, we were also talking about some key levels of support if we wanted to see XRP continuing higher. And we saw a flush out, a huge liquidation event, which saw over 1 billion in longs liquidated over the past week, this past week. And that was on this move down. Now, this was not only for XRP, guys, for the new people around here. It's not because XRP is bad. Please understand that. It's just a market-wide thing. I've also made a video on Bitcoin talking about this, going a little bit deeper into that. So at the end of this video, you'll be linked to that, or just head to the channel. So what happened is there are a lot of longs being placed at this point from these supports, and their liquidations are all underneath. So what has happened? The market needs to move by taking liquidity. So it's come into it, tapped in, stolen everyone's money. It's still going to go in the direction those people longing believed, which is up. This is still going up, but it needs to steal their money to move the market. So it liquidated everyone that was bullish and then stole their money and then continues bullish. Now, of course, it can still go wrong. What I need to see going forward for XRP is for it to maintain the moving averages. If we fall underneath, it's not the end of the world, but I need to see them reclaimed before losing these green supports. Now, these green lines over here, $2.17, $2.21, were given in the past update, and are suggesting that as long as this area holds, XRP continues higher. but we lost the moving average. We saw it lose the moving averages, and then that liquidation event, which was market wide. XRP is not rubbish because of that. Fear not. This is still continuing high. I've shown you where I believe it's going. Of course, this is just my views and opinions. But over here, what I need to see going forward are these green lines maintained, $2.17 to 21, and a further break of this dotted line sitting at $2.40. Now we can actually see some weakness over here. So if I were to extend this purple line and this dotted line, we can see we're getting constricted into the apex. So at some point, a move before Friday is going to be forced up or down. So down would be into the 55 next. I'll then need a quick reclaim, or the movement up will need to break out and test this as support before continuation higher. I'm going to help you with some Fibonacci's now for some further levels, but it's probably going to reiterate what I just said. It's saying the first key level that XRP would find as support would be down here on the green lines. So we just knew this anyways because of structure to the left was giving us some clues. So this is where we could get a nice bounce that breaks out if we were to choose the downward path. But equally, I'll show you a key level of resistance that I want to see broken. And that's exactly what we're struggling with right now, as you can see. $2.47 to $2.50. This is a tight level of support and resistance, as you can see to the left in the past as well. And it was, hit previously resistance, once support, gave us a short-term bounce that ended up being a lower high, and then a lower than this low, which was then also tested as resistance. So you can see the ranges. So it's holding this area as support, it's holding this area as resistance, but once we're above it, it's acting as support, and then this is our resistance. So that's why all we're trying to do is break through that level so it could get up to the previous highs, $2.90. This would be the setup over here with XRP maintaining this green area. This would be the setup to head to the previous all-time high. So for anyone watching this that's been in XRP since the previous all-time high, your time is finally coming, mate. You've been waiting 7-8 years. But what I would have done is, if you held it all the way down that low, it's best to actually sell it and then rebuy it instantly. Okay, this is not financial advice, of course, but you'd be taking a hit. You can move that over to the following years for when you do have capital gains. But essentially need XRP to maintain $2.34, where we've previously wicked off over here. Break $2.50. Final level to break would be $2.65. And all of these targets become valid. So a new all-time high would be met at $3.77. And then following that, heading to $4.44. And then $5.30. So $5, of course, as well. Now, this is not going to be instant. I would love for it to be like that. If you're not in XRP, you're interested, I would say it's a bit late for that. I would say if you wanted to get in on XRP and you're new and you haven't held it yet, I think that your best options is small leverage. And that's one way of holding it pretty much. And as long as this low is being maintained on XRP, $1.90, no matter what happens, we're going up higher. So if you wanted to enter one of them as well, basically you just don't want to lose the lows. So previously we had a bias that we're going up from here. As long as this maintained, we had a liquidity flush, but we reclaimed that lost low. So we want that to maintain, and then this will naturally just trend higher. So that, guys, that's it from me today. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share on your way out. If you're interested in any education, go on ebook, onto our mentorship, or a Discord community where I'm in there doing live streams twice a week. We actually called this bottom very nicely. I spoke about it in my Bitcoin update, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. All links you need, whether you want to head over to my X or for the education, check them in the description and pinned comment section below. Cheers.